Pipe Network presents.
On this episode of Season 4, Let's Talk.
I went to the US with my mom. Na-meet ko yung asawa ng tita ko who is a retired Marine right now. Doon niya tinuro sa akin yung paano ka kumuha ng photos, paano mo ano, gawin yung photo album, kung dapat wag mo hawakan lahat yung photo, dapat sa side lang ganun, and paano mo siya i-arrange. Then, doon na lahat na nagsimula. Doon ko nagustuhan ng photography.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show, and I'm your host Rajiv Doreswamy, and this show aims to help reach out to those who are currently struggling in life and to remind you that life is indeed beautiful when you're inspired to make it your own. Before we get into this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to whichever platform you are using. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at The Rajiv Show. Hey folks, welcome back to The Rajiv Show, and my guest today is an Igorot, and we're going to talk about Igorot culture, Igorot life, and of course the experiences out of Igorot life and outside of the Igorot life, and also some foreign experiences. So my guest I want to introduce today is Vanessa Carantes. Hi Vanessa, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Awesome. So, before we get into the conversation, could you give a little bit of background about yourself to my listeners?
Okay. I am Vanessa Carantes. I am born and raised in Tuba Benguet. So, my father is from Tuba Benguet. Is pure Ibaloy and Kalinga. And my biological mom died very early, and I was a baby at that time due to cancer. So he got married again, and my second mom is from Icarao, from Bukod. So my dialect is mix. I can Ibaloy, Icarao, and a little bit of Kalinga words. I am a HRM graduate. I studied in University of Baguio, and my parents exposed me to our culture, Ibaloy and Icarao. Icarao is very conservative until now, and they're very concerned regarding their culture, and also Ibaloy. So, and I love arts and photography. I studied professional photography last year, and in arts I am self-taught. I was inspired by my teachers in Luwakan Annex, Baguio City National Luwakan Annex, and then right now I'm focusing on my arts, and I was also inspired with my parents, my aunts, who is more on community service. So we shared our blessing to our community in Tuba, also in Bukod, and different areas of Benguet. I am also a volunteer for Red Cross Benguet chapter. And right now, yung kakagawa lang na Bayanihan Cordillera in City Hall, I am one of the volunteers there. My aunt invited me from my father's side. Very well known sila ngayon. And then just recently, I co-founded the Pinatcha organization. My one of our relatives also pushed me to put up this organization called Panatcha. Panatcha is in Ikara word, which means reaching out. And also I work as in cruise ship. So kaya more very active ako ngayon sa community work kasi yun nga due to COVID case COVID pandemic. Medyo doon ako nakabawi ngayon sa aking mga dito sa Philippines. Sa community work, volunteerism, tsaka sa what do you call this one? On call na chef, one of the resort,
Hmm.
and that's it.
Interesting. I love it. You've opened up arts, volunteerism, and those two are rarely combined. It's amazing. Um, I'll of course, before we get into those conversations, art, volunteerism, and the cruise ship experience, let's take a time travel back in the past. If you and I were classmates in high school, uh, who were you in high school? Are you the introverted, the sporty type, books, or who were you in high school? If you and I were classmates.
I am more on both introvert and sporty type because um sakitin kasi ako nung bata ako actually. So my parents pushed me to sports, basketball and yung more on sa cardio. So very introvert din kasi ako. Tahimik ako sa klase. Ngayon
Mm.
lang ako siguro medyo maingay. So dun nagsimula yung yung pinush naman ako nung teacher ko sa arts and sports. So, kaya yon tahimik ako. Hindi ako masyadong madaldal nung time na yun. Ngayon lang.
Interesting, interesting. And when you do sports, I wanted to ask, do does the competitiveness do you have that competitive nature when it comes to being a sports person? You mentioned.
Oo naman. Kailangan kaya ko to. Kaya very talagang tawag ito. Ah, yung ganun competitive nga talaga yung gagawin ko talaga para manalo kami.
Yeah.
Kasi as a team leader, kailangan namin manalo, 'di ba? Kailangan kong tulungan kaming as a team we work as a whole. Kaya talagang babantayan namin yung i-guard namin yung area namin.
Mm,
Ganun ang ginagawa ko. We never give up.
mm.
Talagang kung yung isa hindi niya na kaya, tutulungan namin para maging strong yung isang team. As being a very competitive team yung kami. Hindi lang ako as a whole. Yun ang sa tingin ko nagustuhan naman nila sa akin. We never give up. Kahit last minute,
Mm.
talagang gagawin namin
Wow, that's interesting. I want to connect that question back, and I'll get that question back later. I have a question in my mind, but I'll add that later. You mentioned that you studied HRM, uh, and was that like a passion? Was that a passion for you, or was it just something to get your life passed through college? Was it something that you had to pursue in order to
um
pursue something else?
no, actually it's my sister, my dad, my parents, the one who enrolled me in HRM. Actually, I want to take fine arts, pero ayaw ng dad ko. Kaya yun. Pero I really love cooking. My professional is pastry. I am professional pastry chef. I studied in US. Pina-enroll ako ng parents ko sa isang institution doon.
Hmm.
It's called Gourmandis School. Pero maganda rin ang HRM, pero talagang pinaka gusto ko yung passion ko is arts. I don't know why. Basta arts lang.
Interesting. I really want to open into the art conversation because for those who are tuning in and those who know me very well, I am an obsessive when it comes to arts. I love. I grew up in the comics side of things, so
Yes.
when it comes to arts, you mentioned photography. What type of
Yes.
photography do you pursue in the niche side of things?
As a traveler, I love also yung landscape, but right now I'm focusing on portraits. I love expression because hindi naman ako nag-aral ng proper arts, like painting.
Hmm.
But when I take photos, gusto ko yung makita ng emotions because when it comes to emotions, dun mo talaga makikita yung how people love you, how do they care like that, yung kung paano nila yung sa hands, sa eyes, yun ang gusto ko. Also yung like also I'm obsessed also with um street photography. Kasi when you take photos in street photography, there's a lot of different kinds of emotions happening. Like also in landscape, sunset, sunrise, or anything.
Mm.
Makikita mo doon how environment is, kung gaano kaganda yung environment. Kasi I am also one of what do you call this one, team leader of Climate Reality,
Mm.
which is also a very well known organization worldwide as a team leader of doon ko nakikita yung passion ko regarding arts, different colors, different emotions. Portraits po ako and also landscaping, street photography, yon.
Could you take us back to the time when you discovered photography? What was the story? Take us back to the genesis of how you discovered photography. What's the story there?
Okay. A very very young age ako kasi noon. My dad traveled all the time, so I can see the different culture, different people, different places. So my mom and dad always bring with them the camera.
Uh,
Then when I went to the US with my mom, na-meet ko yung asawa ng tita ko who is a retired Marine right now. Doon niya tinuro sa akin yung paano ka kumuha ng photos, paano mo gawin yung photo album, kung dapat wag mo hawakan lahat yung photo, dapat sa side lang ganon, and
mm.
paano mo siya i-arrange. Then doon na lahat na nagsimula. Doon ko nagustuhan ng photography.
Yung dagdag na tanong dito is that nung time
Yes.
mo na nagfo-photograph ka, meron ka bang na-discover na or did you discover a particular style when you do your photography?
Yes. Ang gusto ko talaga yung ginagamit until right now is the manual, the old one with the film.
Hmm.
Kasi yung digital, kasi sa akin I
Hmm.
learned this also from the master class.
Hmm.
If you know the master class, also very known photographer, nakalimutan ko yung pangalan niya. Difference digital kasi you can edit. But the time yung film,
Hmm.
na-set mo na yung gusto mong mga F points or whatever.
Hmm.
Pag yun, dun mo makikita kung how good at you at the photography. And meron ako yung mga time na inaantay kung tsaka yung mga emotions na gusto kong kunin na kagaya nung sa What Happened in Utogon, yung landslide. May nakuha din ako photo doon na yung mga pulis na kumakain and the rescue team, which is the photo na I really love. It's only one shot lang.
Oh,
And yun yung mga timing lang siguro. May inaantay lang kung timing kung paano kukunin lahat ng yung
kasi
photo.
one thing that I learned from photography is meron ata itong there's this image that I think everybody knows where it was in Facebook and Instagram where this person waited for 100 hours to catch, alam mo ba yun yung photo na yun, a bird diving into the ocean, or I forgot what
Yes.
what photo that is, but the photographer who was waiting for 100 hours just to get that amazing shot. That have you tried that by any chance with portrait?
Yes, talagang dun sa portrait, minsan yung kinukuha ko yung hindi sila nagpo-post, yung candid lang. Yun ang mas gusto ko kasi when they post, ayaw na ayaw ko kasi.
Yes.
Yan ang sa akin.
Aside from
I want just them to move.
Okay. Aside from portrait photography, is there any other particular particular type of art aside from photography that you've experimented with?
Yes, I'm doing art painting.
Hmm.
I started a very young age
Acrylic?
acrylic painting.
Wow.
Yes. Pero ngayon, acrylic and oil actually. Yung first ko talaga oil.
Hmm.
Ngayon, nag-acrylic ako.
What's the experience?
Yun.
Take us to the story. I really want to know. Kasi sa akin, personally, I want to share some few stuff. When you create, when you find art, this is one
Mm-hmm.
personal story that I think is a part of an artist's life. You know, musician or an artist in general, is that you build a relationship with your art. And I don't know if you agree with me though.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
when you start creating something that means value to you, it's like a relationship thing. It grows. There are certain days that you break up. Okay, it doesn't work today, so you break up, and then you will come back into the relationship. And parang ganun din yung relasyon ko ng arts ko nung I was in my lost years, and it is funny coming to think of it,
Uh-oh.
that yeah, art is a huge part of relationship. And take us back to the genesis of when you discovered arts in general, not just photography. Photography you've already mentioned.
Okay. Started when nung my sister, my sister is an engineer. So, tinuruan niya ako sa paint by battle.
Mm.
Nagsimula sa paint by battle by acrylic. Then my mom bought me yung paint by number. That was long long time ago, siguro 1990s pa yon. And then I was very young. Tapos yun, I started painting. I have no proper education in arts ay yung painting
Yeah.
except for the photography.
Oh.
Yun, ang ginagawa na lang ako, I started with abstract painting kasi I can bring my emotions through abstract painting
Hmm.
because yung binubully nila ako, you're not a good painter like that. You're
Yeah.
not yung mga some of the people. And then wala, pinush ko na lang sa painting.
Yeah.
Then yun, nakagawa ko ng paint ko na isa, which an abstract, sabi nung advisor ko, who is
Yeah.
a teacher in City High right now.
Oh.
And then, yun na nag-stop na naman ako. Kasi yun, parang break na naman kayo, tapos babalik na naman.
Yeah.
Pinush niya ako sa charcoal.
Hmm.
Gumawa
Uy,
ako ng
charcoal.
portrait. Portrait,
That's mahirap
yes.
yan eh. It's very hard. You have to
Yes.
blurry and yeah.
Per-
Yeah.
perfect mo dapat yung shading.
Yeah.
Then yun, natapos ko yung portrait ng grandma ko who died like last year.
Hmm.
Yun, it's a charcoal and oil paint, acrylic painting.
Hmm.
Then yun, right now I was inspired by some artists, a singer abroad. I did a portrait of her.
Hmm.
She's a well-known country singer which she appreciated.
Hmm.
And then ngayon, dumadami sila ng dumadami. Hindi naman ganun kadami. Then sumunod with this singer, also an actress, who supported me to do a portrait of her mom, which
Ah.
also that motivated me. With you when you do something, do it with your best and with passion.
Yeah.
So yun ang napanood ko na interview niya. So yun ang naging motivation ko to push my arts and also well-known politics. So my project right now is a portrait of her. It's a Miss Helen
Wow.
Gamboa Soto. Um, yeah, yun.
Wait,
Sinishare
tanong
niya yung
lang.
progress ko.
Tanong lang, follow-up tanong
Yes.
dun sa portraits, art portraits. The stuff that you're doing, you mentioned charcoal. Are you still when you do portrait, person's portrait, what technique do you use? Charcoal, acrylic, which one do you use?
Ah, when it comes to portraits,
Hmm.
ginagawa ko muna yung mukha nila with charcoals and the background of it's an acrylic. It depends on my mood. Yun
Ah.
ang inaano ko. But right now, I'm doing a portrait of Miss Helen Gamboa Soto,
Yeah.
which her daughter allowed me to do, which
Yeah.
is Shara Soto, a portrait of her mom. Also, acrylic painting naman yung actual niya, photo niya.
Wow.
So, it takes time.
Yeah.
Mamaya hindi ka na naman sa mood. Mamaya
Yeah.
babalikan mo, few days
Yeah.
after, matatapos mo na lang. Ganon.
Yeah.
So, that started everything. And then, yung medyo, kasi meron yung kumausap sa akin. Sabi, how did you become an artist? Sabi niya sa
Hmm.
akin. Your dad is not an artist. Sabi niya
Hmm.
sa akin. So, I just, shut up. And tumahimik na lang ako. So, and then the
Yeah.
Senator Lauren Legarda said, if someone bullied you, then take this as a challenge to, to do better. And then let them talk. Do what you love and do it with passion. Sabi niya gano'n. So, doon na nag-boost yung motivation ko to
Hmm.
push my arts.
Interesting. Interesting. Speaking
Yeah.
of philosophy, um, one thing before I actually talk about philosophy, you mentioned abstract. When you started
Yes.
abstract, what's your style? Because I've experimented with abstract as well, and Jackson Pollock is the one that I think of, or Cubism, uh, Picasso. Cubism. When you started out,
Yes.
with abstract, which style did you go for? Cubism, pointillism, what ism art style did you try?
Um, I don't know kasi I don't have a, like I said, I don't have a proper education with
Hmm.
regarding the
And I
arts.
mean,
So,
when you start painting, when you start creating, do you just you just uh you just throw the brush, like what's the style there, like in the earlier times? Abstract, what's the abstract? Because
ah,
uh one thing I know about Jackson Pollock is, if you've seen Jackson Pollock's work is, tinatapon niya lang, or he just throws the paint on the canvas. So the canvas is on the floor, and then he throws it on the floor, and he allows the paint to just go into a particular direction. But he has a particular style. He goes. I don't know what's his technique, his actual signature technique, but he just throws the paint on the floor,
mhm.
and the final product is yun, yung parang natapon ng kape, parang natapon na kape dun sa, that's basically not just like only one coffee drop on the floor. It's like thousands of that in one canvas. So that's his style. And then one thing I know about Cubism, Pablo Picasso, when it comes to Cubism, we take human form, diba? We have our human body, and we have other forms
Mhm.
of realisms. And what I know in Cubism is, we take our form, our human form, and we distort it in such a way that the chest is square, or the eyes are square, and everything is square. Basically, that's the idea. That's why it's called Cubism. That's why every idea is blocky, but it also is abstract. So when it comes to your style, like, where did you what was the first thing when you expressed, and you know painted on a canvas? What was your expression?
Well, when I start, there's this project that I made for my cousin. Also abstract. I guess that's George Ping, George George. How do you pronounce this? Braque? I don't know. Don't ko binaze. It's an eye. I just drew the parang tawag ito. Uh, put the paint
uh,
and I just put some form like square and then just to perfect the eye.
uh,
So that's I just throw the paint and then fix it whatever form like rectangle,
uh,
square, and then yun ang pinaka first na naging project ko na hindi na bumalik. Kinuha
yeah.
ng teacher. Like an eye of a woman, then I put different colors and I just square and form it cubes.
Oh, so
That's it,
basically
like
you
cubism.
started
And
Cubism, yeah.
yeah,
Braque, what
yes.
was the name of the
And then
art? Braque and
George Braque, that's it. And dun ko binase yung yung first naging project ko.
hmm,
Parang binase ko dun sa nude descending nila ng woman. Woman ba
hmm.
yun? Nude sila lahat. Pero ang kinuha ko lang, na naging inspiration ko yung eye. One eye.
What's
And yun
what's
na.
the title? What's the
Yung
title of the thing?
nude descending, a staircase number 2.
nude descending. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Right off the bat, we could actually relate. Nakarelate na lang pala tayo dun sa arts and stuff. Some few
Mm.
personal stories between me and my relationship since you shared as well. Um, I love art. The funny story that I remember with my life and my experience with art is that it's been a long experience. My dad used to mention this when I was young that uh, I used to wake up and then I don't even wash my face and brush my teeth. And the time when I was like around 5 years old or something, I used to just go pick up bond paper. At that time, I used to draw on bond paper. So I used to find bond paper in the house and then I just start drawing. And once I started getting serious into the stuff, s- the last I remember was the hindi ko alam kung na-try mo din 'to is the when you used to put a coin behind the paper and then you shade it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nagawa ko yan.
That was the experience, the most interesting experience that I had. When I did that, I did not know that it was possible to actually do that. And then my fascination for the love of art continued from there. And then of course, I think when the time I grew up, um, we the whole Cartoon Network, the good stuff from Cartoon Network, when I got Ghostbusters and all these other cartoons. Yun,
Mhm.
na-affected ako dun kasi I like how they use the artistry there. And then I decided, okay, let me try doing comics. And my style back then was not even a style. I used to draw those stick figures, the stick figures that everybody can draw. Because I cannot really study it's very hard to do proportions and body structure. It's very, very hard and it's very challenging. So for me, I kind of figured out, and then I was influenced by a classmate of mine who I really respect and I admire. And then one thing led to the other. The release of the Spider-Man movies and then the Marvel movies and all that stuff. I began trying to improve. But then I had like you, I had the same experience. I was never taught, and during the last years, of course, which I think I mentioned 100 times, is that it was the most creative period and most productive period of my life. But it was the most depressing part because I was on my own. So the only relationship that I had
Mhm.
is me and my comics, and it was just that uh, I studied characters, I studied sing, and I spent a lot of time, doing stuff. But yeah, that was the experience. That was the on and off relationships. There were like mentioned, those were on and off relationships that I had with art. There were days that I threw my books away, and then the next, ay balik na ulit tayo. It's kind of thing. It's an up and down
No.
relationship. So yeah, that is one thing
Yes.
that I still do have, like that obsessive. Yeah. Speaking of obsessive perfectionistic, when when it comes to pieces that you do, by the way, photography, acrylic painting, this I don't know if you've been asked this question. Do you ever feel that once you're done with a piece, let's say you've done a 5 hour piece or 6 hour piece, do you ever feel that you're done with the piece? Medyo malalim to, medyo philosophical to eh.
No, sa akin kasi kailangan yung ikaw ba yung when you're making a piece, gusto mo talaga maging perfect. Like that's I'm so obsessive being perfect with my piece, and then I have to start over and over again. It happens to me a lot of times when it
Ah,
comes to portraits,
yeah.
most especially dun sa when it comes to charcoal, pag nagkamali ka doon,
Hindi
yung
mo
the eye is not
ma-erase yun eh.
good, the nose,
Yeah.
hindi mo ma-erase, so I need to start over again. So that's what I really hate with me being
Ah,
so perfect with my piece. So my advisor with my art. So not
ah,
no one is perfect when it comes to art. Sabi niya sa akin, just leave it
ah.
there. But that's why we called it an art. So yeah, sa akin, okay. So Yun ang ano nangyari sa akin kasi I have to start over again. Like, it happens with me a lot of times
Yeah.
and I really hate it.
Speaking
Being so
of
perfect with my piece.
speaking of perfectionism, it's to me personally, it's kind of I want to before I talk about myself, of course. I want to ask, does the sense of perfectionism that you have for your art and your craft or whatever it is that you're doing, like your discipline, does your discipline in perfectionism in art spill to your personal life? You know, like when you do certain
No.
things, like uh let's say for me, this is one thing that I share when I do stuff that I create. Let's say I create a podcast or I create something, I create a quotation. I think I've shared this also before, is that when I create a post, I have the habit of missing out a particular, especially in English. It's funny. The funny it's funny that I speak English, but I do not know how to write well. You know, I do not know how to write English grammar properly. So there are certain Facebook posts that I create, especially my social media, where if in case I miss a comma or a bracket, I delete that thing 5 minutes prior to its release, and then I have to redo it, and then that's like my discipline. And the same thing goes for music. Music is even worse, to be honest, when it comes to me sitting down and writing music. Um, I am so obsessed in finding a perfect sound without even starting. It's very funny. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I want to ask you, do you have like that discipline? Like, okay, I want to be perfectionist. Naghuhugas lang, even the simple things like naghuhugas lang ng pinggan or washing a plate. Do you have that need that you have to scrub it like parang OCD kind of thing?
Mm, uh, yes, with me, sa akin, yung with my pastries and cakes and
Ah,
also posting. But when it comes to posting, I needed to be checked, some with my friends and
ah,
some with my relatives. But yung pagka-OCD ko sa food as
ah,
a, what do you call this, as a pastry chef,
yeah,
when I'm doing my training, my
yeah.
cakes, so I need to be perfect, and then my trainer told me that you don't need to be have perfect in when it comes to cakes. Sabi niya sa akin sa, okay, you just leave it right there, okay? Tas, we will just make some designs. Also with my graphic designs, also
Ah,
I just graduated with my training with my graphic designs. I
ah,
need to be perfect with the
yeah,
words, with the thing. Yun ang pinaka-hate ko talaga. Pero yung with my
eh,
post, with my
yeah.
Facebook or Instagram, my friend will send message. You forgot this comma. You forgot
Yeah.
this word. Okay,
So
okay,
it's the same. So you agree.
same.
Perfectionism is life.
Yes,
Hashtag
yes,
perfectionism is life.
yes. Yun ang pinaka-hate ko naman.
And one thing I gotta ask though, I wanna before we get into the break, I actually wanna ask a very, very deep philosophical question. In all your
Yes.
experiences, you mentioned you've experienced art in the age of in the young in such a young age, and till
Yes.
today, it's funny that in a pandemic, prior to the recording of this conversation, you've created art countless of times. Is there a particular philosophy that you live by, like a Vanessa Carantes quote that when you wake up, I need to say this to myself to convince myself, okay, I need to get to work, or something, or before you even get to work, like, is there a particular quote that you tell yourself uh, that
Mm,
I need something that motivates you, fires you up, or a memory that that reminds you every time you want to give up. This memory will come back in your head and say, "You started this for a reason." Is there a particular quotation or something that you have that gets you fired up? Haba nung tanong ah.
okay, yeah, yeah nga. um, one of the, I have this quote that I to the sa I heard this one from one of the person I admire. Also, actually, there are two. Uh, Dalawa sila. Um, one is with this a very known country singer as an Igorot. We really loves country, right? um, her name is Reba McEntire, and then I heard this podcast of her that to thine own self be true, which is by Hamlet. If you
Hmm.
know Hamlet,
Yeah, the play.
yes, the play, meron sila yung verse nila na to thine to thine own self be true, meaning better what's done is done, just leave it right there. So every time I wake up, so okay, kung anong nagawa mo kahapon, tapos na yun. So you have to be, just move on. You just be true to yourself. If you make mistake, okay. If not, just say sorry, because no one is perfect. And yung kay Miss right, Helen Gomboa Soto, that when I wake up, okay, life is too short, so everything what I do right now is I I will do it with my best and do it with my passion. Because we don't know if we baka bukas wala na,
Hmm.
o may nagawa tayong masama. So we just always forgive and do the best we have every day. Yun lang.
Hmm.
Those are the people whom I admired and motivated me all the time since I lost my both of my biological parents. Yun ang nakikita ko sa kanila, the people who I look up to, yun ang word na, to thine own self be true, and everything you do with passion and do your best. Yun lang.
Wow. Very powerful. It's very powerful that we're
Yeah.
ending the first half with a positive note. Folks, for those who are tuning in, we're
Yes.
just going to have a short break and we will be right back right after this.
Hey, man here. Are you an adult? Okay, how about a growing adult? It's a kid or a kid at heart that is open to learning and change. If that's you, then check out Mabuhay Maxima on Spotify and other podcast platforms. See you there!
Hey, folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show. And we had an amazing, creative, productive insight to a fellow artist, Vanessa Carantes. And we were talking about arts in the first half. If you haven't, check it out. And now we're going to talk about cruise ship. I really want to talk about this. What's the experience of being in a cruise ship uh, and the foreign lifestyle? Like, I do not know which one to start off with. I think I'll start
Uh,
off with the foreign na lang, with the foreign because the foreign is much more shorter than mahaba ang cruise ship experience eh. I have a feeling there's a very very long story there. So you mentioned that you're a traveler. You've traveled, and uh, what was the what was the experience crossing from one country to the other?
okay. I started traveling actually when I was 18.
Hmm.
Few months after my birthday, my mom book a tour called pilgrimage. Pilgrimage tour, di actually mga church, mga ganyan. So I'm with the mga lola and auntie, and I'm was the youngest at the time.
Hmm.
Lahat sila hindi naman sa matatanda, mga middle age that time.
Hmm.
So yun ang naging first experience ko. So yung tour namin na yun is from Mexico, we were going to the US to visit my aunt. So nag-layover kami sa China, I think that time. So very hard to talk with the Chinese people because some most of them don't know how to speak
Hmm.
English.
Hmm.
So sign language. Yung time na yon, may kailangan namin lumipat sa isang airplane. So talaga yung luggage namin ang pinakamahirap. Walang tumutulong. Luckily, there are Filipino
Hmm.
Americans na tumulong sa amin that time.
Hmm.
So, that's the worst experience namin when it comes dun sa China. Then, dun sa Mexico, I enjoyed kasi nakita ko yung different cultures na medyo, kahawig natin mga Filipino. They're very welcoming. Uh, yung tour guide namin mabait. So, very blessed kami ng time na yun. Meron din yung experience namin na masungit yung mga kasama naming mga ibang foreign people. And I have this one experience at the cruise ship that natsambahan ko yung officer na masungit.
Oh.
Talagang sinabi niya sa akin, you have to clean my room from top to bottom to the side.
What?
So, naiiyak ako doon. Kailangan ko magsimula ulit. Then, so, may stain yung aking bedsheet, sabi niya sa akin. Then, I check it. Ah, God, sabi ko, yung isang dot lang ng ballpen, nakala niya siguro men's. So, kailangan ko talaga ulitin yung bedsheet, start over. Doon
Wait,
ang
this is in
pinaka-worst
Mexico?
experience ko. But, no, in the, may work in the cruise ship. But in
Okay.
Mexico,
Okay.
enjoyed. They're very, ano naman, yung caring. And then, when yung may pinuntahan kaming museum, mummified museum, mummy museum.
Wow.
My mom has no idea. Akala siguro yung museum lang na yung kagaya sa atin eh.
Yeah.
Mostly na yung mga kasama ko doon middle age. And we entered, hanggang paglabas namin talagang mummified yung nakita namin doon.
Wow.
And said namin, oh my God, sabi ng worst experience, sabi ng iba. Pero ako siyempre, bagets
Yeah.
pa naman ako noon. Di, nag-enjoy ako. Nakita ko yung mga mummified noon.
Isn't
Sila
didn't we have a culture? We have a culture. It's not ours. I think it's. I think the mountain province culture, the mummified tomb, or it's somewhat Ibaloy or mountain region back then that we didn't
Yes.
have we didn't have graves. So in order to bury the dead, we either we left them in caves, and
Yes.
it's a
We all we
tradition by
also
the
have in
mountains. Yeah, I do
yeah.
not know if it's
We
Ibaloy
also
though.
have in in Kabayan. We
Ah,
have one in
Kabayan, correct.
Kabayan. And
Yeah.
yes, and then my mom told me also, they have also in Bukod.
Huh.
Pero hindi ko lang alam kung saan part.
Huh.
Also in Tuba, they have also that. And cave kasi pero kasi
Yeah.
ang Tuba, medyo hindi pa sila open sa ibang tourism, sa
Yeah.
ibang areas ng Tuba. Um, Pili lang siguro, few. But in Bukod, they have one. Sabi sa akin ng mom ko. Pero hindi kasi namin mahanap yung photo.
Huh.
But sa Kabayan, meron sila.
So at least
It's,
there are some amazing experiences and some few lovely memories to share when you're traveling, and
yeah.
yeah. Now we spoke about the air. You said that you had the experience in the air. Now let's take it into the seas. You said cruise ship.
Yes.
I actually wanted to go from sea to air, but I want to take sky high muna before I go down to the waters. What was the story there? What happened? How did you? Paano ka napadpad dun? What brought you to the uh, to the ocean? What made you fall in love with the ocean?
Kasi most of the time, I'm on the land. And then said, my best friend, who's working right now in Johnny, told me, okay, let's apply, let's train in as a seafarer. Sabi niya sa akin, okay. And then, ako lang yung nakatapos nung training kasi siya nag-abroad na land base. And then,
Okay.
where you go, where you don't try, sabi niya sa akin, pag na-try mo, susunod ako. And hindi siya pumunta. And then, I tried. Then, nandun na ako sa cruise ship. Before we entered the cruise ship, yung iba, nakakapag-rest sila sa hotel.
Yeah.
Pero, yung iba, hindi. But, I got lucky. Nakapag-rest ako doon.
Yeah.
So, when you enter na doon, work ka na. Nag-work ka na doon. Wala ka ng day off. You only have work off. Hours lang.
Yeah.
Yung sleep lang.
Man.
You work 12 hours, 13 hours. Ganon. But in disembarkation, you're lucky if you're on night shift. Kasi, dire-diretso na yan hanggang umaga. Pag naka-out ka na, tulog ka na. Pero pag day shift, kawawa.
Yeah,
Doon
because
lang,
yeah,
broken yung sleep mo.
and the body is
Yeah.
That's interesting. And when you said ship, because this is the thing that hits me in the head. When you said cruise ship experience, immediately I thought of Titanic. For me personally, I've had the experience of going of traveling on air. I traveled with
Mm.
when I went from the Philippines, from here, from La Trinidad to from Manila to India via Malaysian Airlines. I had the experience of traveling on air, so I kind of know the feeling. You travel, it's like hours. Sometimes you don't even know, like you're already there. Tapos you just don't know. It's like your 5 hours are like just like that. I gotta ask though, how many hours does it take from one place, from getting from one place to the other? I it,
Um,
and what is the longest, if you still remember, like a particular cruise ship experience that you've had? What is the longest travel from where to where?
yung 7 days cruise. But for some weeks,
Mm,
there are 14 days cruise. They're like a month. There for meron ding iba month. But for us, as a crew or an officer sa iba,
mm,
um, pinakamahirap sa amin yung at sea. From yung 3 days at sea lang namin, ang hirap kasi yung guests hindi lumalabas, nandun lang sila sa loob ng ship. We need to clean, we need to make up some room. Yung iba ayaw nilang lumabas ng room. So, problema namin yan. May iba turn down, ganon. So, yung experience na mahirap pag nasa sea ka, yung travel, 3 days, 4 days at sea. Pag nandun na sila sa land,
mm.
ayan, masaya na kami. Kasi, we can work properly. Kasi ang hirap talaga. Kasi yung iba may sisig.
Yeah.
You have to clean that, yung ano nila, yung dumi nila.
Mm.
Yun ang pinakamahirap din sa amin as crew ng nung ship na yon. 3 days ang pinakamahirap sa amin yung at sea.
Yeah.
When you at sea, hindi ka
Are
na,
you,
ayan, good luck.
tanong lang, are you obliged to
Oh,
tell the particular destination of, I don't know if it's privacy or it's company policy. Are you obliged to share the information of your best ever experience on the cruise?
yes, kasi na-share ko na rin to sa iba. Um,
Like from where to
but
where?
I don't know. Where to where? Yung kung saan yung destination.
Yeah.
Yes, yung sa amin kasi is yung cruise ship na nasampahan ko is Caribbean.
Huh.
So, beach. Then, very yan, depende yan sa season.
Yeah.
Pag yung kagaya ng, sumampa ako doon ng mga July, so summer doon sa kanila. July hanggang, yung iba September,
Mm.
Caribbean.
Mm.
Then, November to mga December na yan or January, sa na kami, Canada. So, pinaka-worst na experience namin, it's Caribbean because yung rough sea, going home to New York, yun ang pinaka-grabe.
Wait,
Yung
from
Pacific
Canada to
Ocean.
New York?
No, from Caribbean to New York.
Oh yeah, so you have to pass by. Yeah, correct. You have to pass by the Pacific Ocean. That's the longest. Yeah. Wow.
3 days.
Wait, that means if you're traveling from Pacific Ocean, from Caribbean, aren't you going down to South America muna tapos tataas kayo?
Tsaka depende rin minsan sa captain kasi yung route, yung meron yung snowstorm, yung mga yun, di ba?
Hmm.
Pacific Ocean, di ba, ang prone sa mga storm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in the Philippines, yeah, that's true. I actually agree because in the Philippines, mostly an experience of the 2020 experience that we had is we had typhoons. So for those who are
Yes.
tuning in, most likely some of us have gone through. I've had experience with typhoons, and most likely it's a crazy thing. And being in the ocean one way and the other, there is no safe zone. Once you get hit by one of those hurricane typhoons, you have to figure out how to find. Wow, that's an experience, crazy experience. Months from Caribbean to New York, that's tiring. That
Yes,
is,
kung naalala mo yung storm sa Puerto Rico,
uh,
nandoon kami that time.
Puerto Rico. Is this the Haiti thing on 2011 or something?
No, it's like around, ano na ngayon, mga 2018
Ah, it's recent.
when they
Oh,
hit, yeah, yung storm.
oh
Most of
man, that's
that
bad.
time, di ba, ang nahihit is the Caribbean area, the
Yeah,
snow.
yeah.
So we're
Man, that's
lucky
crazy.
na nung nag-hit na yung storm, wala kami doon. Nakaalis na.
Wow. Man, that's an amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. At least that's something that you can keep till you grow old. Back in my day, we went to the
Yes.
cruise ship. That's amazing.
Yes.
That's really cool. Yeah. Wow. We transition from arts to airplanes to ship experience. Now, to end the
Mm.
conversation, to wrap this conversation up, of course, you mentioned volunteerism. Everything in life revolves around the idea that whatever you give, whatever you get, you give back, and uh, that's one thing that is also part of life. I mean, yeah. And as a podcaster, we share not just information. We just don't give information. We provide value and uh, volunteer our voices to share and inspire others. Um, what is the most amazing feeling that you've ever done with volunteerism, and when did the project started? The volunteerism
The
passion.
projects, yeah, yes. Um, yung pagka-volunteerism ko, I was inspired by my mom and dad,
Mm,
and my aunt who is in US.
mm,
And basically it's my parents. I'm parents and relatives, my aunts, because at a very young age, sabi ko nga I lost my biological parents very early. My dad died when I was 18, but biological mom died when I was baby, like 2 years old.
mm,
So growing up, I saw my dad yung start kami nang wala, nothing.
mm,
So from back to the beginning, and when he got married dun sa mom ko right now, and na-inspired ako syempre nag-start kami sa wala, and now na medyo may kaya kami, and
mm,
also my aunt who is who help us to do this giving school supplies at yung sa school na walang-wala, like in Sagit lang, that was their first project,
mm,
giving books, because my dad remember na wala silang sleepers, wala
mm,
silang backpack, they have to walk
mm,
mountains before they can go to school. So that started everything, that what we have right now, if we have to share, like this one quotation that I admire is, make sure you always give, make sure you always give, and what more than you are taking, because you cannot have naman this one if you hindi ka tinulungan din ng iba, hindi
mm,
ka humingi ng tulong sa ibang tao. So you have to give back. Kahit maliit lang, give back.
mm,
So yun, dun ako nagsimula lahat. And then, yung tinuro ng parents ko, ng aunt ko, yun din ang ginagawa ko ngayon. What I have, like my time, right now, like I'm not doing a lot. I have to do yung parang volunteer akong sa 143 Red Cross Benguet chapter, which started like 2017. My mom is a board of directors. So
mm,
do you want to do volunteerism when you're here? Yeah, sige.
mm.
So nagpapak kami ng relief, then go to different areas of Benguet na wala silang and then yung Bayanihan Cordillera,
Mm.
as like a chef, tumutulong naman ako doon, nagluluto nung COVID time, mas lalong ECQ.
Mm.
Yun lang naman ang may bibigay ko. And then right now yung sa community service din, most of all yung sa school education, yun lang. Kung anong alam ko, yun din ang may share ko sa kanila. Because dun lang naman ako na-inspired by my mom and the people who I admire, that make sure you always give back, because you don't know when you're gone. At least yun lang may bibigay mo lesson din sa kanila.
Wow. That's that's power. More power to you. I mean, there
Yes.
I do agree to a certain degree that sometimes, especially in times like this, there are a lot of people who who showed their this is a conversation that I had with a friend of mine who felt bad that unfortunately with when the pandemic happened, things were rough, things were thing, and then it showed the true colors of people who spoke a lot and then did a lot. And I gotta say, more power to you. Keep doing the good stuff. I mean, more power to you, not just in the sense of volunteerism. More power to you in arts and doing what you love, because like you said, in the end of the day, you may never know when you're gonna go, and then yeah. Wow, this has been an
Yes.
amazing, amazing conversation, and I love this conversation. This really, from the bottom of my heart, I love this conversation, and I wish hopefully somewhere down the line you'd come back to the Rajiv show and share some more of your stories. If you picked up
Yes.
some few more, I'd love to have you back on the Rajiv
Yeah,
show.
I'm so lucky nga kasi ano, in-invite mo ako. Actually, nahiya kasi talaga ako eh. This is my first sharing actually. And I'm so lucky na napili mo naman akong ma-interview.
I
Thank you very
in
much actually.
in the regards of, on behalf of my show, and of course on behalf of me as a person, the pandemic has done a lot of damage to a lot of people, not just me, uh, not just me in terms of what went through. And to those who are tuning in, the recording of this conversation is during the Christmas of this pandemic, so this is a pandemic Christmas recording. And the pandemic really took a toll on me mentally, physically, to the point that I had to find a way to reinvent the wheel. So, uh, of course, as a fresh graduate from music and everything, I wanted to do something else that that I could feel more alive. And when the podcast began, things started moving, things, and then the podcast grew, and then here we are. It's a huge honor for me to have all of you guys, from guest number 1 till guest number 47, I guess. It's a huge honor for me to have you guys a part of my show, because one thing is, to me personally, I believe that a conversation can save lives, and I think we need more
Yes.
of conversations in this world, because if we don't have those conversations, we may never know what's on the other side of the wall, or what's in the other side of the window, because we speculate too much. We are in the world of speculation. We believe that we saw something on social media, and then without context we take it as a negative sense, and it's very bad. That's one thing sad about social media. But at least with the idea of having a conversation, having a one-on-one conversation, having this conversation between you and me, we are building something that is worth understanding. You understand me, I understand you, and the conversation, the communication is clear. Even though we don't understand each other, and then we come to a conclusion that we have a certain middle ground where we can conversate. That is in itself is the main goal of the Let's Talk series, a conversation that can lead to inspiration to for 1,000 generations. I kind of made it rhyme. conversation, conversation, and then generation. But yeah, that's the main idea, and I'm glad at least you accepted my conversation. This invitation. Wow, ang daming rhyme. Conversation, invitation. Wow. Anyway, yeah, I'm babbling on too much. uh, to wrap up, of course, this conversation again, uh, I'm sure my listeners out there would love to connect with you via social media. How will they find you in social media?
I have this I'm more on Instagram actually. My Facebook is more on personal, but you can add me there. I'm Vanessa Carantes. Also, I have an Instagram. It's Van Candid for my photography. And then for my graphic design is my VCC Carantes, but you can choose whatever you want. So, but more often I'm on my Instagram, Van Candid. You can see my artworks there and photography.
Awesome. Awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
It has been a creative, productive, life changing experience to actually learn the experience of being in a cruise ship. This is really the most fun conversation that I've ever had. I want to thank my guest, Vanessa Carantes, for being a part of the Rajiv Show. And thank you so much
Yeah.
for having this conversation with me, spending the time to have a conversation with me.
Yeah, thank you very much also. Just do whatever you want to do. It's worth the thing all the way, so it's your choice. So you have to live with it. And I know that you will be so successful with your show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the kind, loving words. I wish if the whole social distancing was not a thing, I would give you a virtual hug. I'm sending virtual love to to my guest. Thank you. It's I'm a loving
Thank
guy,
you.
so I always love to send love, especially Christmas, prior to this recording. So Christmas love. And for those who are tuning in, I hope you've learned a thing or two in this conversation. Cheers, folks, and I will see you in the next episode.